What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Fantasy Feud, and I am with Mason and Paul as usual. And today we are talking about the MVP candidacy and who we have as our main guys this week. And we are also going to talk about the guy who was number one like just 2 weeks ago, but now has fallen off a cliff since. His name is Patrick Mahomes, so stay tuned to listen about that one. I want to start off and just quickly glance over since we've already said it a lot on this channel. My MVP right now, not he's not my MVP, but he's who I still think is going to end up winning it. Justin Herbert, I'm still on the train. I still think he's doing a great job with 1,700 yards, 14 passing touchdowns, and 4 picks. Had the bye week this week, so his stats aren't as inflated as some other guys. So he's still my guy right now. Mason, who's your guy? This is the same guy you've been
Y'all
preaching.
already know Lamar Jackson, baby. I don't care. They just got tramped by the Bengals. I don't know if that's a good word to use for that. Listen, they got a bye week. They're going to get everything together. Everything's going to run smooth. Lamar Jackson's going to rush and throw his way to an MVP title. Let's get into this, though. Come on now.
Yeah, Paul's got the main show here.
Take it away.
So surprise, I'm sticking with the same guy for 2 weeks in a row.
Whoa.
Tom Brady. I know, crazy. I've switched every week so far, ever since Kyler Murray in his down week a couple weeks back. But no, it's Tom Brady, and I mean he's doing things obviously no quarterback has ever done. As of right now, he leads the league in passing, just by a small margin, with 2,275 yards, 21 touchdowns to just 3 interceptions. And obviously, I just got to witness it firsthand against my Chicago Bears.
That was rough, man. That was rough.
That's one of the worst games I've watched in a long time when it comes to them. But he continued a very impressive streak, which I couldn't even believe, even when I heard it and looked it up. In his last 3 home games, Tom Brady has thrown for 5 touchdowns and 0 picks. That's not just in 3 games. That is 3 consecutive home games that he has 15 touchdowns and 0 interceptions.
It's not even real.
That's absolutely incredible. And then to top it off, he just topped 600 passing touchdowns for the first time ever in the NFL history by throwing about 17 of them to Mike Evans this Sunday.
Guys, I just got to say,
incredible.
If I'm that fan, I am holding on to that football. And they're going to give me a heck of a lot more
They're giving me $1 million
than what they gave that guy.
No, but did you hear what he got? He got a lot. He got 2 signed helmets and jerseys by Tom Brady, a Bitcoin, which is worth $63,000, a Mike Evans game-worn jersey signed. What else was there? 2 years straight of season tickets and $1,000 of Bucks apparel credit. I know obviously he could have probably gotten more value out of just keeping the thing and selling it or blackballing him to get it back.
He could have kept that and sold it in an auction for millions.
Exactly, but at the same time, he got a lot of value. He's getting $63,000 out of a Bitcoin. People kind of underrate how expensive those things are, and I think Tom Brady said he's giving him a personal one as well, so he's getting 2 of them, which would be
that's cool.
Close to $140,000. So, that's great value in my opinion. Obviously, not what you could have gotten out of the ball, but it's whatever.
Still could be a millionaire, bro. Sorry about you.
But
no, this Bucks team is only getting stronger. The only loss they've taken is to yours truly, the LA Rams, baby. Now moving forward, the Bucks, they might not lose another game all year. There's some tough divisional games. They're playing New Orleans this upcoming week. Indy's going to give them a tough run, I think, for their money. Buffalo's going to give them a tough run. But besides that, these guys could go 17-1 this year. It could be, or was it
16-1, not 17-1.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. These guys could go 16-1 this year. The Bucks are only getting stronger each and every week, and that is scary. Paul, do you have anything more to say about Brady?
I mean, not really outside of kind of what I just spoke to the facts. He had the 600 touchdown, which is the first time in NFL history. His stats right now, they're just absolutely incredible. If we're going by odds, I'm shocked. I'm going based off Vegas Insider odds here for MVP. And even with everything he's doing at the age of 45. Okay, so one quick stat to throw in there. in his 40s, he has more NFL touchdowns than what he did in his NFL 20s.
Yeah, that's
That's
insane.
wild.
So it's almost doubled as well. I think it's like 300 or 400 compared to like barely 200. But I think he's being very disrespected when it comes to the NFL MVP odds. He's plus 700,
Yeah,
which I don't
that's he
know
should be
a lot
plus
of the odds.
200 at this point, or minus 200 for
Yeah,
that matter.
I don't know how a lot of the odds things actually work, like the plus if they're good or bad, but he's fourth in line behind Kyler Murray at plus 350, Dak Prescott at plus 400, and Josh Allen at plus 450.
No.
I don't think I've seen any of them play to the level of what Tom Brady is playing right now. Maybe Dak Prescott, just because of some of the numbers he's putting up as well, like passing wise. But if that's the case, why isn't Derek Carr being talked about when
Hmm.
he's second in the league, 6 yards behind Tom Brady in passing with 22.69?
Yep.
Like, again, that's incredible, but he's not even being talked about. So I'm not sure why Tom Brady's being disrespected when it comes to the actual MVP odds. I think he should be higher. I think he should be the front runner for the MVP. But again, this is only through 7 games, guys. We have no idea how the rest of the season is going to play out. I feel like almost the same adage that it goes any given Sunday. There can be a lot of things that happen between now and then. And I think one of them could be what we're going to talk about, Patrick Mahomes maybe coming back and trying to regain his
Ooh.
pedestal.
I don't know, man. At
But
this,
as of right now, he does
yeah,
not look good.
yeah,
That team does not look good.
yeah. And I want to say before we jump into Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady is my current MVP front runner, and I don't know how he can't be anybody's front runner at this point with what he's done.
So wait, you just switched from Herbert or what, bro?
I think Herbert's going to end the year winning it, but he's not the front runner right now. You can't be a front
Yeah.
runner if
Okay.
there's another guy throwing 2,200 yards, 21 touchdowns through 7 games. It's just not
Yeah.
possible.
And when I say the Bucks are only going to get stronger, literally, like Paul was just saying, we were off air. Their whole secondary's out. They're getting back Scotty Miller, Levante David's getting ready to come back.
Gronk.
Once this team is 100% healthy, just
It's
moving
over for the
forward.
league.
Holy cow, man!
It's over.
Like,
That's what happens when you
I
retain
mean,
your whole lineup.
that's
I
what I
know.
was about to say. There's a reason why they ran the table at the end of the season last year. Went undefeated, obviously, all the way through the playoffs, won a title, and then they're still on that same dominant stretch. But if they didn't have all the injuries to their secondary that they do, um, I feel like they probably could have beat the Rams. No offense, Mason. The Rams are a heck of a team right now. But I feel like they could be undefeated at this point. It's really come down to the fact that the last 3 consecutive weeks, they've had to start a new cornerback every single week. They brought in Richard Sherman 3 weeks ago, who is now helping them coach because one of their defensive coaches was on COVID. So he's come in and he's kind of taken over in that, I guess, teacher aspect in his old age. They've brought in a guy like Pierre Desir or something like that. I think he's been a free agent for quite a while now, and I think he just recently got brought in. He even had an interception against Chicago. So, I mean, they're finding players basically off the streets. They're pulling third string guys, practice squad guys, just to fill out their secondary to still be able to compete in games.
Yeah.
And I know they've been torched recently in those games, but their rush defense is still the best in the league. It has been for 3 straight years.
Yep.
Like you just said, Mason, they're going to continue to get better, continue to get stronger. Once they have a bye week after New Orleans next week, I mean, I really can't see a team being able to stop this team once they're at full strength.
I could only see the Buccaneers having a bad game and slipping up, and that's the only reason they don't make it to the Super Bowl again. That's the only way. It's just they play bad and not the other team beating them. But a team that we've seen play insanely well in the past is the Kansas City Chiefs, and this year we have been seeing them play horrendously. I mean, that defense, for one, is horrible. But when your offense, led by Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce, are only going out there and dropping you 3 points, you have something to worry about in Kansas City because this is not the same Kansas City Chiefs that we've seen from the past. And, you know, the first thing that comes to my mind is everyone's saying Patrick Mahomes is playing like garbage. And to be fair, he does not look like Patrick Mahomes of old. But could this be due to Clyde Edwards-Helaire being injured? Does that have a huge, impact on this offense?
I think it has a slight impact. Nothing crazy. You know what I think? I think this offensive line is falling apart. They gave up 4 sacks against Tennessee. They gave up 3 sacks against Washington. He's getting pressured like crazy.
Yeah,
He's
every
out of the
play.
pocket. Every time I see a highlight, Patrick Mahomes out of the pocket. That's how he plays football. I understand that. Um, the dude's running for his life. They are not in a good sync right now. Mahomes has 9 interceptions. He has 2 fumbles. That is 11 turnovers from Patrick Mahomes, ladies and gentlemen. That is leading to a lot of the Chiefs' demise right now. I don't know if you guys watch Patrick Mahomes and his interviews post game. People are hounding him, they're roasting him, and the guy's taking it on the chin. He understands what's going on right now, and what I love to see from this young man is that he's taking responsibility. He recognizes the poorness of the team right now, and I think the way he handles himself in the interviews, I think he's going to be fine. They're going to bounce back. He's got one of the best, a genius head coach, Andy Reid, one of the best offensive minds we've ever seen.
Yep.
Them together, they're going to figure this out. But do you guys have anything else to say on the poor play that we've been seeing from this Kansas City Chiefs football team?
Can I throw you a quick stat?
Yeah.
In 2019, Patrick Mahomes throughout the entire season had 5 interceptions. Last year, he had 6.
Yep.
11 combined for the past 2 years, and he already has 9 through 7 games this year.
Yep.
I already spoke to it earlier in episode, I think about maybe a couple weeks back, when I had said that he threw his first career interception in the month of September, which was multiple, obviously, because he's already up to 9. I don't know if we're seeing the downfall of him, but I think a lot of it, like you said, Mason, has to do with his line. He's running for his life. But teams are kind of starting to figure out this team. They're being able to stop them. They're being able to put pressure in certain spots. But one of the biggest things is I think they're exposing the defense. The defense is forcing them to almost play behind in games, which is something they're not used to. They're used to being the ones putting up the points, dominating in the trenches, kind of being able to dictate the pace, but that's not what's happening. I don't think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Clyde Edwards got hurt, simply because it almost seemed like the run game picked up with what's his name over there? Is it Damian Williams or Darrell Williams?
It's not Damian. He plays for your team. What are you talking about?
I know, but calm down. He seemed to have a better game his first time starting than what Clyde was doing all year. Like the fantasy points that he was putting up. So I don't think it has anything to do with Clyde. I think this offense is just they're proving that it's so hard to stay on top of the NFL. They've been there for 3 straight years. They've gone to 2 straight Super Bowls, won 1, lost 1. But like I said, teams are starting to figure out this team. They're being able to put up points on the defense. They've looked completely lost against certain opponents, and it's just like, it's showing you, again, any given Sunday in the NFL is how it works. And I think that just puts even more, I guess, glory on the Patriots that were able to do it for the entire tenure of Tom Brady. Like, he was able to keep them atop the NFL. Yeah. Now Patrick Mahomes is trying to do the same thing, because that's who people are comparing him to. Oh, Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT. He's going to be the greatest of all time. Look what he's doing at such a young age. 5,000-yard seasons, 50 passing touchdowns. But guess what? He's human, guys. We've talked about it many times in the past week and a half, 2 weeks, that he is human. He's not making the same highlight plays, the no-look passes where he's vertical or horizontal with the ground, throwing 70 yards downfield. And me and Stone were just talking about this. Tyreek Hill, we feel like he has not necessarily made Patrick Mahomes what he is, but he is a big reason of why a lot of those freak plays down the field happen, because Tyreek Hill can get the DB looking like Bambi on ice. He spins him around.
We talked about how when he launches those deep balls or whatever, and like half the time they don't even make it to him. So Tyreek Hill adjusts and like turns around for the ball, and really that's not a great throw, but it's a great adjustment by Hill and a defender. It's a defender's nightmare to have to try and guard Tyreek Hill, who's the fastest guy in the NFL, stopping on a dime, cutting back, and turning around, catching a ball. And then he can kind of round out. That's how he gets all his touchdowns. He always comes back, gets it, and then rounds out and just dusts the defender to the end zone. That's how every single time. That's how he does it. So it's just my thing is Mahomes doesn't have that magic this year. That's why he hasn't been Mahomes. Like you've seen these plays where he's getting sacked, and like he used to be able to just like sidearm a ball like across the field, no look, straight into a guy's hands. But this year, he's going down from a sack and throws the ball, and it launches just straight up in the air to a linebacker, like stuff like that. It's just the Mahomes magic hasn't been there, and it's been going against him this year. He's trying to make these heroic plays, and they're not working this year, and defenses have kind of figured that out, I think. Can he turn it around? Obviously, he's Patrick Mahomes. I'm not saying he's not a good player. He's obviously an extraordinarily talented quarterback. We've seen that the last couple of years, but who knows? This year might just continue to stay this bad, and he might be out of the MVP conversation completely here in a couple of weeks.
Guys, I want to build on your Tyreek Hill statement. I think he's been bad. Well, we know it came out. He had a quad contusion, and he's been listed as questionable and stuff on reports. I think, based off of what you guys are saying, part of his success, Tyreek is, I think, struggling this year, and I think it's more than just a quad contusion. Week 1, Tyreek Hill had a 75-yard long touchdown pass. He had 197 yards in the game, played outstanding. Week 2, week 3, didn't have a catch over 20 yards. Week 4 had a 44-yard catch. Weeks 5, 6, and 7 did not have a catch over 20 yards. Part of what you guys are talking about right now, if Tyreek cannot stretch this defense like he used to, maybe that is putting a big problem with Mahomes right now. I don't know. I mean, we have other deep ball guys, but the way you guys were saying that Tyreek can command that field as a wide receiver, he's more than just a deep threat guy. The dude is amazing. So if he's struggling this year due to injury, maybe that's part of the problem right now.
I'd say to conclude things, it's just a combination of all of it. The offensive line has just been awful. Clyde Edwards-Helaire went down, and he was a pretty integral piece to the offense. They used him like maybe 15 touches a game. Tyreek Hill hasn't been as explosive as he's been in the past. He's had the 2 games, but outside of that, like you just said, no 20 yards down the field. And then Travis Kelce really has had a down year for him too. Like, if nobody's been really, like, he's still obviously great and been doing good, but he hasn't been having those monster performances that we've seen out of him in the past with like hundreds of yards and 2 touchdowns. He hasn't done that this year. So, and the defense is just garbage. So, not being able to dictate how a game runs probably has hurt the Chiefs a little bit. And like Paul said, if they're playing from behind, that's not what they're used to. They're used to playing from the lead. But if you guys have any closing remarks on that, go ahead and shoot them out now. But that's all I got to say about this.
I think we summed it up pretty well.
All right, sounds good. So if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like.
For the MVP.
Leave a like, comment down below if Tom Brady is the best MVP, best player ever. Obviously he is, but if he's the MVP this year, drop the comment down below. Say so. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video. Get more content out for you guys as much as possible. And Mason, get us out of here, man.
Fantasy Few out, baby. Let's go.